everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game. The One Piece card game's released, let's go! There's a time of you seeing this, I'm recording this in advance, but I'm probably going to put it up right when this comes out because everyone is going to want to know, what deck do I play? What's the best leader? What leaders are good? Tier list time. Oh, all the clickbait. I assume I have clickbaited this title pretty heavily. I don't know yet, I haven't done it yet, but if I have, let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a little comment. Let me know quite how badly I clickbaited this. Maybe it wasn't bad at all. Let's go ahead and jump right in, though, to this tier list. I'm going to be discussing all the leaders and ranking them for the Set 1 format. Importantly, I'm not going to be discussing Shanks. That's for the future. That's for Set 1.5. That's for, like, I think January or February it's coming out. A while away. Not relevant for the moment. So let's go ahead and get started. And I think let's begin with the really bad leaders, and let's just get them out of the way. King is absolutely trashed here, and Ulti, I can't even remember what Ulti does, is trashed here, don't bother. Like, yeah, let's move on from the discussion without including these cards because they are not worth our time. Let's talk about what I think is probably the best leader in the game. Let's lead with that. And this is a toss-up, but I'm going to go with Green Kid. I think Green Kid, and I will say, this is not me ranking these leaders in a vacuum. This is me saying, in the Set 1 meta, the decks you build around these leaders, how good are they? I think Kid's probably the best. It has put up a staggering number of top results. It has access to the best card in the game in 8-drop SR Green Kid. It has got a fantastic suite of tools. Really, the biggest downsides about Green are the removal not being spectacular and a pretty lackluster set of 2k counters. But, I mean, these are relatively minor complaints in the face of a lot of the benefits you have with just how powerful some of the green cards are. This is definitely... It's also easy to play. I think this is the other thing. And the reason I'm putting it at number 1 instead of number 2, because it debatably could be number 2, is because it is easy to play, and it's just going to be one of those ones where it's not the easiest deck to play by any means, but it's very easy. It doesn't take that many games to get to grips with the playstyle, to understand what you should be doing, and you don't need to be like thinking in super detail about, oh, how do I sequence this, how do I do this? Yeah, obviously, I need to consider these sort of things, but compared to the other top tier deck, which we'll come to, definitely a lot easier to play. Let's talk about a competitive deck, a highly, highly competitive deck, and that is, well, I suppose competitive by this tier list. That's Zoro. I'm going to put Zoro in competitive, arguably highly competitive, and I may put it up there. In fact, I am going to put it up there, and I don't think it is actually the second best deck in the game, but I think it is so exceptionally easy to play. It has outs to deal with green, which is like the big kind of gatekeeper deck, and in terms of it has the combo, the Otama Japanese little combo. You play Robin, you have access to all these crazy tools, and it's so good that at just rushing you down, it's very easy to play. Like, it's like, okay, well, hold my combo piece to deal with the particular card until I see the particular card. Otherwise, me go face. Me deal with big threats, right? Like, it's very simple to play. This is like a very easy deck. Just hand to someone, they read the leader effect, and they go, okay, that's simple. That seems good. Yeah. Very, very, very strong card. And very, very strong deck. Let's go ahead and just do it now. Let's go ahead and put Red Green Law up there. And the only reason, personally, I think it's this way around. That's how I think, if you are dealing with top tier players, I think it's this way around. But most players, I think, are going to find Kid easier to play. And you know, Zoro is up here just because it's very strong and very, very easy to play. So this is like factoring in that. Law is really good. It's much more difficult to play. You really need to be actually like thinking when you play Law, but you do sort of get the best of both worlds, right? You have access to every crazy green tool and access to every crazy red tool, but as a consequence, you only have 4 life. You got to be careful. You can get rushed down, so there are downsides. But Law is so phenomenally powerful, and I think this is the holy trinity, right? These are the top decks right now. I know things change when we get Douglas Bullet. Don't worry, I'll make another update then. But right now, this is the holy trinity of decks. Let's talk about stuff that is not quite as good, but still pretty good. Kaido. I'm not sure where to put Kaido, because it's definitely not bad, right? Like, I think calling Kaido bad would be very unfair. But, you know, Not having a really easy out to 8 cost kid is quite annoying. The potential to brick is also quite annoying. Losing to Zoro quite badly is also quite annoying. But you do have 10 cost Kaido. It is a very powerful card. I'm going to go ahead and put Purple Kaido in the competitive tier. I think it's pretty good, but I think it is definitely like a clear cut below these top decks. But it is still very, very powerful. Let's go ahead and do Crocodile. I think Crocodile's up here in competitive tier. I think it's really good. And I think, you know, similarly, right, it's not as complete as these top tier decks, right? Like, in blue in particular, you really suffer with, like, some of the cards you're having to play. You just have to play, like, these really bad cards just because they, like, just to eke out, like, being able to do stuff. But, you know, the leader effect is really, really powerful. You can do some really, really powerful things. You have incredibly powerful cards like Centimorus, just, like, cheat out stuff. I think Croc is really nice, but again, like, you just don't have this full toolkit, and you really, really struggle into green. And that's, like, the biggest issue. Because, like, it's just a rough matchup, frankly. Doflamingo is really, really good as well. Honestly, you can have these either way around. I'm going to put Doffy in front just because it's easier to play and it sees more play. And honestly, like, Kaido probably goes here. Probably, but I mean, they're all pretty similar. I'm going to do this just to highlight, like, they're all, like, very, very similar in terms of their strength level. But obviously, Kaido is going to be having a nice little glow up soon. But yeah, for now, I would say it's like this. I think that's pretty good. Let's talk about Odin. I feel like I have to put Odin here. Odin's really, really strong. And it takes a little while for people to get to grips with how to play Odin, but it's really good. And once you figure it out, like, the speed at which an Odin will put out a board, and, you know, access to cards like, well, firstly, right, like, being able to get 2 extra dons, like, to spend, essentially, right, like, by untapping, can be really, really powerful, can be really, really game swinging. It lets you shit out really cheap boards really quickly, potentially, at the cost of your hand, obviously. And you get access to some really, really powerful tools, like Kinemon, right? Like, it's just really, really good. I think, yeah, when people figured out how to build this deck, it got really, really scary. That being said, you know, it's not... I still think it's a tier below these highly competitive decks, but I think it's up there. And for a while there, we did think it might be up here, but I think it is down here. On to highly playable. And I'm going to put... actually, let's do a playable deck first. I'm gonna put red green Luffy here. It's fine. It's just like, I would just rather play pure green, or I'd rather play Kid, or I'd rather play Zoro. Right? Like, if I want to do the Supernova stuff, I play Kid. If I want to do the Straw Hat stuff, I'd rather play Zoro. And doing both, well, I'd rather play Law. And I know it's a completely different playstyle, but I'd rather do basically anything else. So, yeah, this is probably one of the only playable ones. Let's do... I think we should do Blurple. Let's do Blurple. I don't really know which one's better. I think I've got to put both of these down into playable. They are playable, right? Like, if you actually play these decks, like, you're not going to get, like, a ruffle stomped as you might, like, expect with this kind of tier list. But it is such an uphill struggle against some of these other decks. And I think I do have to put Kaido ahead because you do get access to 10 cost Kaido, which solves a lot of it. I'm going to do this for now. And I do think Blurple Croc has a nice glow up. Like, both these decks have a really big glow up when they get access to Douglas Bullet. Like, pretty much every purple deck shifts up at least a tier. And I think Blurple probably overtakes Kaido, or certainly, like, becomes in the same tier, right? So with Douglas Bullet, like, both these go up into competitive. But right now, I feel like I have to do this because they're just missing too much. And Kaido at least has access to the Animal Kingdom pirate stuff. And finally, we have got Red Luffy, and I put this in highly playable. I think it's slightly better. No, slightly worse. I think this is nice. It gets massively slept on for sure, but it can do a lot of cool stuff, and it gets better. Yeah, I think it's decent, and being able to throw all these dons around is fundamentally good. But, you know, when one cost an army does your whole leader effect, and every red deck plays it anyway, you kind of question why I would want this leader necessarily. That's it. I think this is going to be it. That is my tier list. What do you guys think? Have I completely fucked it, or have I absolutely nailed it? Let me know in the comments section down below. I am legitimately interested to hear your thoughts. Please do subscribe to the channel for more One Piece content, as well as deck profiles for all of these leaders. I'm going to really try and get one out, at least one a week, although potentially 2. We'll see how long they keep getting views, I guess, with me having exams and all that. I'm going to try my best to get those all done, but hopefully it all goes well. So if you're interested, please do subscribe for that. Also, if you like Battle Spirits, Gate Ruler, or Low Corner, I make videos on those too, so please do subscribe for those as well. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Join my Discord server to talk about all things TCGs. But otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.